is Green Bay? How are you? What is up? What is up, Green Bay? Holy crap. Hey, what's up? It is Wednesday morning. We were talking about the Green Bay Packers here on Dynasty Pylon. What to expect, what I think they're going to be, and what their identity is. A lot of questions. Are they going to be able to repeat? Still the lingering question if they're good enough. But I will tell you what I think on everything and how I feel about this team. I'm actually kind of excited for these guys, to be honest. So let's get it. Dynasty Pylon, Green Bay Packers. Let's go. What is up, Packers? All right, so what can I say? I've been asked this many times. What do I really think of the freaking Packers? Well, honestly, I'm tired of saying it. I'm tired of explaining it. They are very young. Their identity is still being molded, and there has been so many changes in the last couple of years that it's hard to tell what they really are. However, in the first year of what Jordan Love has been the Green Bay Packers main QB, right? It came to a Cinderella story here in the playoffs. They went in as a number 7 seed. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. No surprise. Why? Because the Cowboys freaking lose in the freaking playoffs. Anyways, that's kind of what they do. However, this man named Christian McCaffrey decided to say, hey, listen, your run stops here. And they lost to him and his team 24-21. That was basically it. Now, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, the Jordan Love contract, blah, blah, blah. We will get to that. I will tell you how I think about what they should do and what it's probably going to happen, more than likely. Because a lot of things happened in the last couple of years. I mean, let's see, with 2021, you guys went 13-4, right? Then 2022, you went 8-9. Then from last year, you went 9-8. So there's still improvement. Yes, you lost Aaron Rodgers a few years ago, and yes, 2020 you drafted Jordan Love, and why are we just now playing him? Like, there's a lot. There's so many questions, and it's one of those organizations. It's like, are they actually showing us what we used to do in back in the day? Like when you would get a quarterback and just let him sit there. They've done this twice. They did this with Brett Favre when he was there teaching Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat there for a couple years, and then out come Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right? Now, Jordan Love played a very good season. And the problem is, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't realize how Jordan Love is. I said this when he I'm like, I think he's going to be pretty good. Imagine if he actually had some pretty freaking good, like top tier receivers that were healthy. And I'm not saying that Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs aren't good or Jalen Reed isn't good. I'm just saying that the health concerns worry me just a little bit. So, contracts. Jordan Love. There was things that had to be done. Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark was the main reason. Kenny Clark had to get done. That was the most important one. Why? Because you have a Pro Bowl defensive tackle there. And it's so hard to find guys who are consistent Pro Bowls at defensive tackle. Yeah, there's so many of them. You can go get another one, right? No, it's not that easy. Linemen there's so many of them, but it's so hard to find a multiple Pro Bowler. It's hard. Get the guy there. Your defense is already established and pretty good. I don't think that losing him would have been a detrimental loss. So restructuring his contract, even though I think it was a really good move, and that opens up the window for Jordan Love. Like, I think that needed to be done first, which it did. It got first. Why? Because you freaking lost, David Bakhtiari in March. So it losing 2 good linemen would have been really, really bad. So, I mean, Bakhtiari was a 3-time Pro Bowler, and he was basically for almost 11 seasons, I believe. It's a big impact. So you had to keep Kenny Clark. Otherwise, you're going to look at the draft and, yeah, say you get a high draft pick, but this rookie that comes in, like, is he going to do good? We don't know. It takes some time. It really does. So, and especially, being as far as they weren't, really like in the front of the pack either. They were kind of no more towards the end. 25th pick, to be honest. And I don't think defensive tackle would have been the biggest issue if they just re-signed Kenny Clark, which they did. I think offensive tackle would have been, which they did, and we will get to that here soon. But free agency, I think the biggest concerns they handled that first, right? They kind of handled that first. They signed Xavier McKinney in March. Big W. Because Darnold Savage and Jonathan Owens are no longer on the team. So if you didn't know that, you know now. They're no longer on the team. So McKinney coming out of the Giants, probably a very, very, very good signing. I think he's going to have a very good year. To be honest, the safety is one of the most key pieces in a defense. Like, it's the last guy on the field. Free safety and safety are the last guys to make that play. And if they're really good, I can rely on them to, like, make that final play. If, you know, the corners or the linebackers or the defensive tackles can't make the play, they are there. So coming into the 2024 draft, they had the 25th pick overall. They did not move up. They did not move down. They just kind of stayed where they're at. But let's talk about who they brought in free agency. Free agency was pretty interesting. I mean, like I said, like Xavier McKinney, big one, right? I think it was a 3-year deal, I believe. To be honest, let me look at it because it was one of the biggest ones. It was well, let me go down my list first. Kason Nixon, they brought him back, right? Kick returner. With the new kick return rule, this man's probably going to be a big impact when it comes to. He's a very explosive kick returner, so I think that's very good that they brought him back. You know, it's going to be interesting what they do with him because I think that's going to be his main role. It would not surprise me, and I'm still skeptical about this whole thing and the kick return. I'm very interested on week 1 on how many touchdowns we get. Either we get 0 or we get like 9 or more. Like, I don't think there's no middle ground. We will see, but there's no kick return rule. Nixon should be the main guy. I think it's going to be his main key role here as a team. So we'll see how it goes. The second biggest one was Josh Jacobs. Obviously, the loss of Aaron Jones. They just couldn't re-sign him. He's getting old. You can see the deterioration in his legs. Like, there's just a lot of miles. They used him a lot. And they like to stick to one running back, clearly, because even AJ Dillon's sitting there like, hey, dude, I'm here, but what's going on? But even though AJ Dillon did sign up for another year, so yeah, I don't understand. He could have just read up basically. Honestly, he should just leave. I think he's a very good running back. I just don't know what's going on. And then they said they came out, oh yeah, he looks entirely different. He looks healthy. He looks the best he's ever been. Like, okay, like, was he not like one of the biggest, most muscular freaking running backs in the league already? But okay. So to me that means he sucks, or that to me that I don't know, he's like the best running back. I don't know. Like the way they I don't believe when a coach comes out, he says, "Oh yeah, he looks like the best shape of his life." Okay, whatever. Let me see it first. Let me watch it be done first. How about you use the guy? How about that? But with Josh Jacobs and him, you got the bruiser, the speedster, the pass catcher. It should be very interesting here. He's essentially going to pretty much do everything Aaron Jones can do. It's a 4-year deal, $48 million. The dude got paid, so good for him. I think this is his career. He's 26 years old by the time this contract's done. He's going to be 30 years old. So I think LaFleur is going to be using him and I guess Marshawn Lloyd, which is very interesting to me. I came out of nowhere. I know they drafted him, but again, we haven't really talked about the rookies yet. We will talk about him when to get to the rookies because they drafted him kind of early. So, but yeah. And then the other one, most noticeable one, I think a Vikings kicker, a 1-year deal, Greg Joseph. This man's going to be important to this team. So getting closer to, like, this team is going to be in the red zone a lot. I think this team is going to score a lot. If they don't score, they will get close enough for this man to score. So Carlson wasn't really the thing last year. Like, it just wasn't. So they had to bring in Greg Joseph, who's reliable, and I think is more accurate, and I think he's going to be very good here on this team. So it's a 1-year deal. Hopefully, he stays longer. I mean, I think he's a very good kicker. He's top 10 at best. So, yeah, keep him around. I Greg Joseph would be a very good fit here. I think he'll like it there. So, outside of just a bunch of filler guys, I mean, maybe you want to mention, like a few linemen, like Andre Dillard might be a thing, but again, the line kind of seems weird. I don't know. It's good. I just don't know if they're going to make things around because Josh Myers might get that. Jacob Monk is right behind him, but I think Myers can look to be a guard and maybe switch over, and we'll see what happens. But essentially, Tom, Morgan, Myers, Jenkins, and Walker. So it's not a bad line. It's pretty good. I think it's going to give enough time for Jordan Love to do his thing and throw to these good pass catchers that he has. So we'll see. But yeah, those are the 4 big noticeable guys that they brought in. So I'm excited for them. But what is up, Tua? My bad, dude. I didn't see your comment till now. But have a good afternoon. No, yeah, I appreciate that, man. You have a good afternoon. We'll be doing our Wednesday night show still today. So if you want to swing by during that time, well, welcome to. But Tua's coming in here saying he has them at 9.5. Okay. All right, 9.5. All right. So if you are listening or watching this now and you've never been here or listened to this show, at the end of this overview show from each team that we do all 32 teams. At the end of the episode, we kind of go over the schedule and then we make our bracket. So if you're just kind of watching, lurking, and you think that they're going to do better or worse, throw it in the comments and we'll justify if it's good, and then we'll throw it into our average, and then we'll add it to the chart. So yeah. So free agency, or not free agency. We just covered free agency. The rookies. They had so many draft picks, guys. So many draft picks. It was amazing. They had like 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, and 2 in the 7th. That's just 6-round draft picks. That's not including the 4th, the 2nd, the 1st, and the 5th. Oh, no, I said the 5th. So as they went, they handled tackle first, which I think was good. They got Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, offensive tackle. He's probably that they have him at guard, which is interesting because I don't think he's going to start over Zach Tom anyways, but I just, okay. Interesting. They had to move some things around, but, it is what it is. The rookie can do it. He could probably move somehow. It'll probably might be easier as tackles go into the guard position. It's just more banking, but we'll see. It's just deeper into the trenches, but we'll see how it is. My favorite pick here in the draft, one of my favorite picks is Edgerrin Cooper. Here in the 2nd round of Texas A&M. This guy is a linebacker of linebackers. He is not scared to plug the holes. He is not scared to go after the gun of these guys, and he's quick with it, very quick with it. So I'm excited to see what he does. With this defense, it's being ran differently. Jeff Hafley is bringing a new scheme to this team. It's going to be in your face type. It's not going to be what we're used to, what we've seen in the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are going to have a new role here at the defense. And Edgerrin Cooper is going to be probably the frontliner of it. They got him in the 2nd. And he's one of the best linebackers coming into this draft. And I think he's going to be a dog for many, many years. I'm excited for his career. And especially with this division. I am so excited for this division. The Packers, the Lions, and the Bears. I cannot wait to see what this division becomes. They are one of the youngest teams in the youngest division. All 3 teams. I think the Lions and the Packers alone are averaging 26 to 27 years old. This is a young team. It is going to be a dangerous team. But moving on, Edgerrin Cooper is going to make a very good linebacker. They have him at middle. He could probably play outside if he wants. He's that fast. He could do it all. So I don't think he's gonna let these running backs scare him. You'll be shocked, be surprised. I'm not surprised if I myself get a Edgerrin Cooper jersey here in the next couple of years. Of course, hopefully it pans out. They got him pretty high in the second round, so I'm excited for him. Above Javon Bullard, who's another safety who they need. McKinney can teach him out of Georgia. They can show him what he needs to do. Again, Jeff is going to have an interesting team. He's going to make this Green Bay Packers a new era. I'm not saying Legion of Boom or anything crazy like that, but it is going to be interesting to what he works with. Hafley I think is going to be interesting to see what he does with this team. So, well, I'm excited. Now, Marshawn Lloyd, a lot of buzz coming out of camp at OTA's rookie mini camp when they first got there. They're saying he's going to be the number 2. I don't know. And that might be because I'm just an A.J. Dillon fan. I've always liked A.J. Dillon. I liked his size. I liked his brute force. I like the way he plays. He is giving him competition there at the 2, but it wouldn't surprise me that Josh Jacobs and A.J. Dillon and Marshawn get like 1, 2, 3 punch. I would say 50, 30, 20, something like that. It wouldn't surprise me if that's how it runs. Or if not, they split, 25, 25 and 50 Jacobs. Something like that around those lines. So we'll see how it runs, but these running backs can't get it done. We've seen it. We've seen Matt LaFleur do it. So I'm not worried that, Jones is gone and it's not going to be the same. I understand that. He's been there for so long and you guys drafted him and, you guys brought in Jamal Williams and him at the same time that specific year in their rookie years, and he just kind of progressively got better and eventually became the starter. And it hurts. I'm pretty sure he was probably some of the Packers fans' favorite player because he had such a cool, swag. He was just so cool. But then he did some petty stuff and he signed with the Vikings. Yeah. If you didn't know that, he is now a Viking. And he only did it to be spiteful to play the Packers again. But again, here's the thing about the Packers. They're changing things and making us all look stupid because of everything's panning out. Like the Jordan Love in 2020 was amazing. Like I can't question what teams do anymore because of this specific issue. Like when the Falcons taking, Michael Penix. Is this any different from when they took Jordan Love? I don't know. We don't know that. And if you say so, then let me know what the future's like, because if you went to the future and that's what you looked for and that's it, and you didn't come back and tell us who won the Super Bowl for the next 3 years, shame on you. But don't tell me it's not the same, because you don't know yet. Nobody knows what Michael Penix is going to be. We don't know. But this is what the Packers did with Jordan Love. And they sat him for 3 years. 2.5. Aaron Rodgers got hurt, which doesn't really kind of, we don't count that. Because it wasn't really officially of a start. What's up, Anthony? Came in. Jalen. Yeah, let me get to the 7th round. We'll talk about that. Jalen King at the 7th. Yeah. Such a steal at the 7th. I know. But I don't think he's going to play. Jair's still there. He is a Penn State guy, but again, I don't know if he's going to play anytime soon. We'll see. He is a very good, valuable asset there as a third weapon. And Corey Ballantyne is actually ahead of him as well. So we'll see. But yeah, that was their 7th round pick out of Penn State. So yeah. All right. So Tyron Hooper out of Missouri, another linebacker there. Evan Williams, another safety. Jacob Monk, who I mentioned earlier, out of Duke for the center. And then, they got a lot of DB safety-wise, and I think they're going to make this interesting where they go nickel a lot. There's a lot of safeties they brought in. Out of this, there was like 3 of them. That's not to mention what McKinney. Like 4 of these guys are new to this team. Like McKinney's not new, but he's new to the Green Bay Packers. That then makes sense. So, go for it. Lost my mic. My mic fell. I hope it still works. I hope it still works. My mic just fell. That might have felt a little sounded awkward. I hope it's still working. If not, I'm just gonna talk to myself, and then that sucks. If anybody in the chat, let me know if you can still hear me. I hope you can still hear me. So moving on from the 5th round, after Monk, they got Oladapo safety, Travis Glover, Michael Pratt, and Kalen King here at the 7th. So these guys are the last picks of the draft. What's up, Derpy? What's up? Can you hear me? I just dropped my mic. I hope you can still hear me. So got caught on my shoulder in my armchair and knocked it down. So yeah, I do anticipate this team being very good for the next couple of years. Again, it's one of the youngest teams in the NFL. We hear you, but not on the mic. Not on the mic. Interesting how you can actually hear that. No, it's on the mic. I don't actually have a mic. Like not like what Brian has. It's actually this mic. So yeah. What you hear me is what you hear me. Yeah, no. But not on the mic. You should be there. All right, anyways. Moving on. Well, as long as you can hear me. It's always been on the mic. But not on the mic. I don't know what you mean by that. It's not, I don't use a webcam. Not the audio from the webcam. Anyways. All right, moving on. Offensively, these guys are going to be interesting to see what they have. I don't know how people doubt them. I don't know why people doubt them. I don't know why people like other quarterbacks over him. Honestly, it's Jordan Love's good. And he's very good. I honestly would take him over half the league. He's working with Christian Watson, who's hardly there. Romeo Dobbs, who's also hardly there. Jalen Reed, and Dontavian Wicks, who had to step up and make it happen. Like, if this guy actually had Christian Watson and Dobbs healthy the entire season, then that would be on fire. Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft aren't like above and beyond either, but they're good enough. Like, again, these guys are all young. Like, they're still planting their feet and their toes into the soil, getting them, deeper into what their skills set are. So it's like I said, it's interesting to see how good they're already doing. Now, if you bring in a few veterans here, maybe that'll increase their chances. Maybe they teach them something, or they just continuously just get better throughout time, and they get better throughout the draft a couple years, and then they get themselves more higher stellar rookies that come in, and they teach them a thing or two. But Jordan Love, right now, didn't practice, which is, it's not. They're making it a bigger deal. I'm not worried. And neither should you. Because he's still showing up. He's laughing, he's goofing around with his teammates there on the sideline, but he's just not practicing. I think he's stretching probably, but he's just not actually practicing. They're going to get it done. They're going to get it done. You're going to go to Sean Clifford? No, absolutely not. He's going to play this season, 2024, 2025. He's going to play. I'm not worried. The fact is, Jordan Love's contract had to, the biggest thing here is Dak Prescott's the big threshold here. Because the QB market has been messed up, and also the receivers market has been messed up. And they're just getting higher and higher, and Jordan Love only played the 1 year, and he did pretty good. But that's based off of what they're going. They have 8 games in a year. 8 games 2 years ago after Rodgers kind of got hurt, and he had to kind of step in, and he did pretty good. And then last year, of course, Rodgers was gone to the Jets. So Jordan had to step up and basically take over and do what he had to do, right? And he got it done. And I'm excited for what his career is going to be. I think that they're going to give him more better assets, more better receivers in the first rounds in the following years. We'll see. I know, like, it's probably not going to be their thing because they just typically just don't draft receivers, which is weird, but it is what it is. I think they go after an interior lineman because this line is really weird. Like, I don't know why they got Jordan Morgan and they're putting him in at guard. Like, that tells me that they're a little worried about the guard. So they might end up having to get someone like Donovan Jackson or something, like an interior guard, something like that. And then push out Morgan out to where his original spot is at. Would make more sense. But for this year, they might have to flex him at guard and see how that rolls, how that works out for him. So, but yeah, AJ Dillon lost his spot to yeah. I don't know, Anthony. I don't know. I like they have Marshawn Lloyd here at second, which is interesting to me. Like I said earlier, I think they're gonna do a split back with the twos. It's gonna be Jacobs 50%. These guys 25. I don't know. I honestly, he just got drafted to the wrong team, or they just don't know how to. Like, the Packers have always just used one running back, and it's highly upsetting because Aaron Jones has just used so much tread on the tires that I don't even know what the Vikings are going to use him for. We'll see if he does anything. He's pretty old, and they used him pretty well. They hardly used AJ Dillon, and they had them there for like 2 seasons. And when AJ Dillon gets the ball, holy crap, he's productive. Like, I don't know. Are they not watching what we see? But hey, it is what it is. When I watched him, I was like, dang, that guy is Derrick Henry Jr. He is a bowling ball, and it takes 3 guys to take him down. But the problem is they never give him enough runs. They never let him, like, be that guy. They never let him be this bruiser. They just kind of held him back, and now it's like, now they're like, oh yeah, he's in the best shape of his life and whatnot. So we'll see. Josh is a big back. Lloyd is a speedy back. Yeah, well, it doesn't help when Josh Jacobs gets hurt all the time. Let's hope that he stays healthy. Josh Jacobs is probably going to be used for the next 3-4 years dramatically. They're going to run this guy into the dirt. It's just plain simple truth. He's 26 years old and he signed a 4-year deal. He's going to be there till he's 30. And depending on what the signing bonuses and all that, like, if they give him, I didn't even look at the contract, to be honest. Like, say it was like 2-year guaranteed, those first 2 years, they're going to use the crap out of him. And that's just what the Packers do. But outside of that, outside personal feelings of how I feel about how they run their team, this team's going to move the chains. And they're all pretty young, at least the pass catchers. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to be one of the best in the division. And I think that people are kind of sleeping on them. And I don't think they should. Don't sleep on these guys. Really don't. We just talk about the offense. The defense is going to be interesting. It's a nice defense. 3 of these guys are already Pro Bowlers. And that's just the line itself. Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, and Preston Smith. Quay Walker, that's the front 5 right there. And they're pretty good. And they're all pretty decent. Like, they're young. I don't know if like how well Adrian Cooper is going to be his first year. I typically kind of back off from linebackers their first year. They just takes them some time to develop. But I do believe he's going to be the best, one of the best in the league, and the Packers have him. Like Eric Stokes is there as well, and he's playing a little bit, as well as he is. McKinney's also there that they just brought in. Jair Alexander is still there. Like these guys have a solid defense. But they've always had this defense. They've always been good at defense. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be a very good team. If they get 9 wins again, not gonna surprise me. If they get 10 wins again, or 10 wins, I'm not surprised. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about what they're gonna do. Let's talk about their schedule. Let's talk about how well I think they're gonna do. But before I do that, the Packers have been developing this for quite some time. Now I want to take it back to the 2020 draft. Imagine if they didn't take Jordan Love. Right? If the Niners would have never picked up Brandon Ayuk, would have Brandon Ayuk went to the Packers? Would have they won that year? Won, but I mean, would have Aaron Rodgers had a better year? Would Brandon Ayuk be a better player? I don't know. Because he was in the doghouse with 49ers his second year, so whatever he did. But Brandon Ayuk was literally the pick before Jordan Love. Now, I know the whole trading him away and whatnot. If the Packers end up with Brandon Ayuk, they just got both their 2020 picks right there and then. But the Packers never draft receivers anyway, so I don't even think they probably would have taken him anyways. I don't know. But Brandon Ayuk was literally the pick before Jordan Love. And everyone was saying, oh, yeah, we're probably going to go. They could have moved up and got him if they needed him, but they didn't. And if Jordan Love goes out there and balls out again, they're going to prove us all wrong. They're going to prove every single one of us all wrong. That 4 years ago, they made the right selection of drafting him because they knew what they wanted. They knew what they were going to develop. They knew how well he was. We knew he was good, but we just never saw it for 3 years. And then we just kind of faded him out. And then last year it was like, oh, crap. Oh, yeah, this guy. He's pretty good. So, yeah. Moving on with schedule. I'm not even talking about Dynasty. I want to kind of get these done with. So, sorry, unless you guys really want to talk about Dynasty, I'll talk about it. But kind of know, like, Dynasties, we already kind of know what to expect. But schedule-wise. Schedule. All right. So, week 1, we got Philadelphia. Week 2, we got the Colts. Both home games. I don't think you win against the Eagles week 1. I think we'll see. I think you beat the Colts, though. I think you beat the Tennessee Titans. I think you beat the Vikings. I think you beat the Rams. I think you beat the Cardinals. And the Houston Texans is going to be interesting to me. I don't know about that one. But already 5-1 in the first 6 weeks. Right off the bat, how I see it. That's how I see it. Your question about the Rams, I think the Rams are still developing their defense. I think the Packers already have that settled. I think this is why I think they beat the Rams. As for the Texans, is going to be an interesting one, but I think that's another loss there. I think on both sides of the ball, the Texans have more established veterans, more established group, where the Packers tend to have injuries. And that's just the way it is. Just how I've always watched them. We'll see what happens here week 7. That's 6 weeks in. I don't know. But I think the Texans will probably get away with that one. I think you guys beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think you guys split with the Lions here with week 9. Meaning you lose in week 14. You lose. So I'll split with the Lions here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wins, 8 wins. Then the nice bye week here at 10. That is a beautiful bye week. Here at week 10, having the bye week right in the middle of the season, you finish 9 weeks, then you have the rest of the 8 weeks. So it is directly kind of in the middle. You get the first 9 out of the way, and then you have another 8. It's a nice bye week to have. Week 9's a good, okay, but then you have the 9 on the other side, which is still okay, decent one. I like that one too. It's probably the second best in my opinion, but week 10 is probably the best one. So already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I said 7, right? 7 wins right there. The Bears, I think you're going to beat them. Despite of all that talent that they might have, I still think they have to figure themselves out. I don't know how it's going to be. I kind of want to say you split with them, but you guys are established. They need to figure their stuff out. And it's not a bad figure this stuff out. And I said I like what they're doing, but it's a lot on a rookie. And Caleb, we don't know if he's going to be this high flying powered quarterback that we believe he's going to be. So I'm not going to easily say that the Packers are going to lose to them. I could say they split. And that's in Chicago. So we can leave it as a split, but I do think you guys sweep. You know what? No. I think you sweep the Bears this year. The Bears actually come back with vengeance next year, and they end up splitting or something like that. But I think you beat them twice. So that's 8. Lose to the Niners, lose to the Dolphins. I said you split with the Detroit Lions, so you lose there again because it's at Detroit, but you beat them before the bye week 9, so I think you split there. So you're still at 8. Seahawks, I think you can take care of. That's 9. The Saints, another win, so that's 10, right? Indy, Tennessee, Minnesota, LA, Arizona, Jacksonville, Chicago, and Seahawks, New Orleans, that's 9. And then the Vikings, I think you get 10. I'm going to say you sweep the Bears. So that's 11. I have 11 for these guys, which is not far from what they did last year because they went 13. 11 wins. And if you're doubting that, then come back. Come back after December and we'll talk about this. And watch them get 11 wins. I don't see them falling short from that again. Overall, what do I say at the end of at the end? Before and let me add this to our chart. So 11, and then Tua came in with a 9.5. Anthony's didn't give us any, so we'll just leave it there between 9 or he said 9.5 actually. So I do believe that puts them at the 10 mark. So at 10 wins, I can settle for that. I think it's going to be 10 wins. I know Brian wouldn't like that. And it's a good thing I'm doing this team and doing these alone because he'd be arguing his ass off about this. But let's add this. If you're watching on YouTube, these are the other teams that we've been doing. So far, we have almost all the teams except for a handful of them, and we'll get those done here pretty soon. As we have the first week next week, essentially, almost. We're like less than a month out. So we'll put 10 for the Packers. And that's not even like bad. That's realistic. Because last year they went 10. Or last year they went 13. And that's with Jordan Love and everyone's doubt. That's 10. And as we predicted, look. Chicago with 9, Packers with 10, Lions with 12. And again, I've said this before, that's going to be my favorite division. Maybe at AFC North is probably going to be my also favorite division to watch. Just because they're they're so close to each other in talent and so close to each other as developing as what they're doing lately. But we have 10 for the Packers, 12 for the Lions, and 9 for the Bears, and 5 for the Vikings. That division is now done. Congratulations, now NFC North. That is what we're going with. We're going to eventually add that to our playoff bracket before the season here in the next couple of weeks. Once we get all these teams done, we have a handful of them left. I think I'm doing the Buccaneers next, so we'll see. As for now, the Packers, what do I gotta say? There's you guys did it with a very young team. You got 13-8. You won your first round of playoffs with all the doubt, with everyone constantly saying you guys aren't good enough and whatnot. You guys can't do it. You guys have the talent. You guys are establishing themselves and getting out of Aaron Rodgers' shadow. That is the main thing. Because everyone is still holding this Aaron Rodgers shadow over it. Make an identity. Make it yourselves. Make the Packers. Make people love the Packers again. For the Green Bay Packers, like all of Green Bay is they're still hoping, and I think there is still a lot of hope. Like Jordan Love can be the guy to take you there to the promised land. I think he can. Just give him the right weapons, give him the right tools to make it happen. The defense looks good this year. The offense, if healthy, looks good this year. I think you guys can go further into the playoffs and possibly make semi-rounds and hopefully not lose to the Niners, because you almost had them. You almost had them. But Christian McCaffrey's just too good. That man just ruins days, doesn't he? Packers, Green Bay. Young team. One of the youngest team. You guys have hope. I really do like this division. I like you guys. I like the Lions, and I like the Bears. I know that's hard to say, but of course, I cover all 32 teams, and I like this division. I want to see what this team does. Now, don't be worried about Jordan Love and his contract. It's gonna get done. They'll happen. Yeah, he didn't practice. Oh well, it's fine. He will sign. He will get it done. The fact that he's still in the building and laughing and having a good time with everyone on the sideline there, that's a good sign. Not only means there's not, tension there and there's not really anything that's bad. They're talking about it. They said at the beginning of the year that they're going to work it out. But I think the Kenny Clark thing had to get done first before, to see how much wiggle room you have. So, yeah, I'm not too worried. But anyways, guys, that is the Green Bay Packers. Sorry for those Bears fans. I know you guys like tuning in for the Tuesday Bears show. Get over it. We do all 32 teams on this channel. But the guys do have their own Tuesday night show for the Bears. I gave them that day for they could just vent and cry or cheer for their own Bears team on Tuesday. So, but as for now, Dynasty Pylon, officially, but unofficially because we haven't really made the video for it. But if you're still listening, we hit 400. What does that mean? 400 subs on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, go over to YouTube, give us another sub. It's free. Just hit it. Just hit it. The higher we go, the more jerseys we give out. What does that mean? Our 4th jersey giveaway. This one is going to have the number 7 on it. If your number 7 is your favorite number and you like Stitch jerseys, it will be the team of your choice with Dynasty Pylon on the back, a Stitch number 7. Again, with the team of your choice. So yeah, get on that raffle when the video comes out. Of course, we, like I said, unofficially, we haven't made it yet. We will, and it'll get pushed out this week, and I'll have it out there for about 2 weeks. Get everyone in, and we'll be announcing that for the next 2 weeks. So that is your unofficial announcement that we hit 400. Thank you guys. I do this for fun. It's nice. So yeah, there it is. Packers 10. Tomorrow or tonight we're gonna do Wednesday Night Shenanigans, and then tomorrow we're gonna do the Buccaneers. And then the Chiefs, and the Boys, and the Ravens, then the Niners, then the Panthers, then the Bills, Houston Texans, and we're ending off these reviews with the Browns. Why in that order? It's because that's how the order they drafted. So that's kind of how it went. So, yeah. Anyways. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you guys are at. This is the Green Bay Packers on the Dynasty Pylon Show. We will talk to you on the next time when we talk about the Buccaneers or on Wednesday Night Shenanigans, or even tune in on the Sunday mornings, Morning Spike Show. And we just kind of cover all main news and the fantasy football dynasty style, IDP style fantasy football news coverage, lineup advice, all that good stuff, man. All that good stuff. All right. Take it easy, guys. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Later.
Getting hyped when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.